V1 technique is usually used in areas where you don't have a lot of glide, like when you're going uphill. There's not much of a glide phase in V1. It's mostly used when you need a lot of power, not a lot of glide, like again, when you're climbing. So therefore, when you're doing V1, it's mostly a side to side motion. You're pushing your hips side to side. There's not a lot of, you don't really like come up like you do in V2. It's mostly just side to side. The pulling motion is, instead of before the push, like in a V2, it's after the push, and when you're gliding onto that other foot, your poles plant at the same time that your foot hits. You call it a 3-point plant. 2 poles, 1 foot. So I'm here, I push, and I plant, and I pull to the other side, and I push, and I plant, like this. It's always done with the pulling only on one side or the other. And you should practice pulling on both sides. People usually have one side that's stronger, better than the other, but it's best to practice doing it on both sides because depending on the terrain or where the trail is going, it's advantageous to be able to do it on both sides. So if I'm going to do it on the other side, then it's push, pull, push, push, pull, push, push, pull, push, like that. One thing you notice that, again, just like with V2 or any other technique, my shoulders stay pretty much square and level over my hips, and my hips stay square and level to the trail. So I'm here, and I'm crunching, and I'm pulling, but I'm staying level. I'm not twisting my hips. Like, this is a mistake that a lot of people make, is they tend to want to twist towards their skiing, towards the ski that they're going to glide onto. And that just kind of kills some of your glide. You get glide out of pushing your hip over. If you kind of do that, if your hip drops back, then your ski doesn't glide forward as much as it would as if you pushed it forward, right? So if I push back, it kind of stops the ski a little bit. So you want to keep the ski pushing forward. You push your ski over and you pull and you back, and I try to stay pretty square to the trail, not dropping my hips back and twisting. And same with the arm position. It's basically a double pull motion. Since I'm starting that double pull motion with one of my legs out at the end of its push, that does cause my pole to need to be planted out here. I have some poles here. So, normally with a V2, I'm planting my poles together like I do for a double pull. But with a V1, I'm planting when this foot is out, so it causes this hand to be down a little bit. But I'm still trying to stay square and mostly a double pull motion. I'm not doing this. It's still, straight up and back, not across my body. It's still here, even though it's a little lower because my leg is forcing my pole to plant here. With the upper arm, again, I'm planting it just like I would for a double pull. And again, so I'm planting here, like in a double pull position. I'm not doing this, right? And I'm not, this is kind of a common mistake that people tend to make. They want to on the tall pole side, but that's just not very effective. you want to use those abs and crunch just like you do in a double pull. So it's here, you know, like that, not like this, you know, not like that. Double pull motion. Hand is here, not here, and not here. One of the keys to effective V1 is to stay what we call light and quick. You want to be light and quick. When you start feeling like you're, what I say, bogging down, or you're like straining, like, you know, it starts getting hard as the hill gets steep and you're just like straining. That's just a lot of work for not a lot of payback. It's better to do what I say, to ski twice as fast and push half as hard, light and quick, right? So it's better to just focus on keeping those skis moving. Just keep them moving, and don't strain. Just, you know, push, shift your weight back and forth. That shifting of your weight will give that ski just a little as you push your weight onto it, and then you keep it going with your pulls. You have nice even pushes and a higher tempo, and staying low side to side will give you more power, and your skis won't have time to come to a stop. The longer you try to glide on them, the more they will come to a stop. So you want to just shorten up any sort of glide phase and just concentrate on push, 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 but not straining, just like light and quick.